Hello, how are you? Our microphone is broke, so I have to speak extra loudly today and project and shout and that sort of thing, so I'm sorry if I'm too loud. Excuse me. Right, where I am, it's Sunday afternoon because first thing Monday morning, myself and himself jet off to Southampton to go to somewhere in Dorset to scatter his dad's ashes, and his mother is coming, his brother is coming, his sister and his sister's husband, so that there will be 6 of us, and we are staying in a hotel near a beach. But you may know that I have developed a love for Rick Stein. Now, I have to say, when I develop loves for people, it's mostly not sexual. It's more that I want to be their friend, you know? And so my love for Rick Stein is not sexual. I want to go on holidays with them and have cake with him and have the chat with him and all of that. And himself there loves him too, don't you? He's nodding. He does. We both love him, and we watch the long weekends and we love him. But anyway, it transpires that we are 4 miles as the crow flies from one of his restaurants in, you know, that fancy town, Sandbanks, which is the dearest place to live, the dearest house prices in this part of the galaxy, allegedly. So, because our flight goes in really early, and so we'll be in Southampton by about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And so we are going to go to Rick Stein's Sandbanks place for our luncheon, because you see the hotel won't let us in till 3 o'clock. So it's a good use of our time, you see. So by the time you see me, I will be sitting in the Rick Stein place eating my mussels or hake or one of them things, fishy things. He does fish, doesn't he? So yes. So, now it is Sunday where I am, and I am going to alert you to the appalling weather conditions outside my window. Hold on, let me show you. Feckin' sunshine and blue skies, and I am roasted. But it's not as bad as it used to be. You know, I've kind of got used to this spring thing, because even the most horrible, heinous, unpleasant things eventually become bearable. And but it is Sunday, and everybody would be walking the pier and getting ice creams from Teddy's and all of that. Mercifully, I have to work, so I don't feel, you know, I can lurk in here in the gloom with our north-facing house. And I know you are bored rigid with me talking about the book. I am editing, and it's been really good to have time away from it, because it has all sorted itself out in my head, and I am writing it now. And it will be out on the 7th of September, you know, one way or the other. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Well, I might have to talk about it a bit when I'm proofreading, but I won't really, because I know I've gone on about it enough, and you're losing the faith. Now, I wanted to talk to you about something else. Yesterday, which was Saturday, I was in town, and I was in a shop, and I was in the car park, and I was leaving said car park. And when you come out of the car park, there are 2 laney things that you come out of. You know, so there's 2 cars at the same time, but then there's only room for 1 car to go up the ramp and out into the world. So there was a car on one thing, and then I went into the other one, and I have a beepy thing on my car. I don't know what the technical name is, but I don't have to do a ticket, you know, so I just drive up, and I don't have to stop and then do down my window and then realise that I have parked too far from the ticketing place, and then have to reverse a bit and then realise that I'm actually too far over anyway, and then I have to get out. So I just drive up, you see, and it goes beep, and the thing lifts. Now, so I did that, but there was a big fat SUV in the thing beside me, and I thought, okay, I must get ahead of this car, you know, to be out of his way before he catches up with me. But anyway, it was driven by a man, and he obviously wanted to get out first, even though I was ahead of him. So both of us are driving like this in a sort of a V shape, looking for the one true path out of the car park. And I thought, I know what he's doing. I thought, he's a prick, and I am not going to let him. Yes, I was petty, but I was out first. And so we're going, and I can see his, and it's a Beamer. The bizarre thing is that it wasn't a Range Rover. But I remember that, like, before Range Rovers were kind of prevalent, the car of choice for pricks was the Beamer. So obviously he hasn't got the memo yet. So he was coming along, and we're you know, I'm thinking, I'm not backing down because I was first. And so he beeps and he starts shouting at me. Now, I knew he would shout at me, and I was thinking, isn't it sort of sad that we expect abuse? So I rolled down my window and I said, excuse me? And you see, my car is an old Fiat 500, not an old one, but it's 6 years old and it has bumps and all of that sort of thing, and scrapes, because it just has. And so he shouted at me that I was a idiot, except he didn't say he said, you're a fucking idiot. And I thought, okay, I expected that. But I said, excuse me? And he goes, you came out of that at speed, you drove away at speed. And it's like, I'm coming out of the barrier thing. I was probably going at 3 kilometres an hour, and it was only to get ahead of him. And I said, I came out of the barrier first. And so he threw a few more words at me. And then he goes, go on. And, you know, he had a tan, and he was he looked like a professional, you know. He would never speak to a man like that, or to his lady wife or his friends, you know. But he thought I was just this nobody, and that he could kind of call me whatever he wanted. So I drove off ahead of him, and then once I'd kind of inserted myself in front of him, I turned around and I blew him kisses. And I could see his face, and he was like the colour of a tomato, and that was gratifying. But I was just thinking afterwards, you know, the way like men treat women drivers, you know, so the women drivers, you know, and like women cause far fewer accidents than men's, and you know, far more fatalities are caused on the road by men's than women's. And men's sort of behave like that women are allowed to drive on the road so long as they don't interfere with the men's. It'd be like, you know, a rich person having a swimming pool and saying to their staff, you know, of course you're welcome to use the pool like anytime you like, of course, like day or night. Just if we're in it, just, you know, just don't. And it's like, that's not on. You know, this is just a tiny example of sexism. Like, it's irrelevant really in the overall scheme of things. But I just thought the next time a man starts calling me names over my driving, I'm going to stop my car and I'm going to get out and I'm going to have a chat. I don't want to be bullied. It's not on. I did nothing wrong, and still I'm having things shouted at me. So that is my little rant for today. And yeah, what else? I was babysitting the Redsers last night. They made me watch Alvin and the Chipmunks. It was horrific. All the squeaky singing, but they are such sweet lads, really. You know I joke about them and everything, and in fairness, they used to wreck my house, but they're older now and they're more mature, and I'm so fond of them. You know, they're lovely. Nephews are great things, even if they don't have red hair, even if they're like baby Teddy, who is blonde and just young, and it's just lovely having family. I felt very happy last night. I was driving home and I was thinking, my life is really nice, that I can be depended upon to go over and mind them, and nothing bad happened, and they're sweet, and you are sweet to indulge me like this, and I hope you're enjoying this wretched feckin' weather. I do realise not everybody is like me, and I will report back to you next Monday. Thank you. Bye.